Well, now this was a bit interesting and not the dumb kind of interesting that was Yellow Belly from yesterday's video. Today we have Yamano, or however the Japanese wanted to pronounce it, who is basically a portrait ghost from Luigi's Mansion, except he's in a jungle and Wario has to beat him by punching things. It's the classic way. Now, the gameplay way to beat him is kinda bullshit because you have to go around and charge at all of the skull lanterns in all the corners of the room. The problem is that how Yamano attacks is that if he basically touches Wario at any point, then you insta-fail the boss fight because this is Wario Land 3, and that's just kinda how they're doing things here. The problem with the way that you have to beat Yamano is that there are 4 of these things. You have to constantly be dodging Yamano in this tiny ass room, and yeah, he is kinda slow, but that only gets you so far. When you have to charge at a target that is at the edge of the screen, so you're basically just standing in one place for a few seconds, and those few seconds are usually enough time for Yamano to come over and instantly fail the boss fight. The good thing is that Nintendo Handheld decided to balance this out by not having you have to do multiple hits on Yamano, and it doesn't escalate the boss fight because it honestly escalates enough. All you have to do is get all 4 lanterns uncovered to win, and the short time that it takes for you to get out of and then back into the Yamano fight means that it isn't the most bullshit thing in the entire roster. It isn't as annoying as other bosses. It's still annoying, but you take what you can get in an early retro platformer is what I'm saying. The thing that makes this a bit harder is that throughout the boss fight, Yamano will progressively be throwing out additional skulls to recover lanterns that you've already hit. It's not a huge deal breaker, it's not a huge annoyance because it does run out slowly enough that you do have a chance to, as long as you're quick on the dodge, you're able to get a decent chance at defeating Yamano. And the ultimate thing, Yamano is actually a good looking monster. He is literally the pirate ghost in the portrait. This was an off-brand Luigi's Mansion game. And he looks pretty good. He doesn't have any feet, but he makes it work pretty well to avoid that effort in animation. Kinda looks a bit goofy, but he actually looks threatening enough as a spirit that it kinda offsets that, and it makes sense that in a game that isn't trying to take itself seriously and is being a little comedic, especially for a Mario platformer, that looks good enough, it's decent, it's unique, it's interesting enough. It's not the most spectacular thing in the world, but I do appreciate that they're trying something a bit different and trying to make this guy stand out a little more, where in a couple of Wario Land 3's bosses from the ones that we've already done, they haven't hit that mark, and at least Nintendo Handheld, even at this late stage of development, is still trying, and even if they can't hit it out of the park, at least they're not completely wasting my time.